All right, all right, all right, all right. We are live. We are live tonight with this amazing conversation that we're about to have with Al Morgan and Al the Great. And if you are under the sound of my voice, you better get in position quickly. You better get your pen, your paper, get everything you need. You guys, this is Laticia, Nicole, Beatty of Speak Life Enterprises. And tonight we have an amazing show for you called Speak Life to Our Black Men. Speak life to our black men. I see you guys coming in already. I see you coming in already. So while you're coming in, let me go do some maintenance. Let me go do some sharing with some people. All right, there we go. I see everybody that's coming in now. I see hi, Rhonda Cozart. Hey, Nikki Denise. Hey, everybody that's coming in. Hello, hello, hello. We got an amazing show for you tonight. Again, Speak Like Our Black Men. Go ahead and share it. Share it right now. So I'm gonna give you some instructions tonight, okay? Because you're gonna be hearing a lot of good information from my guests. Pastor Al Morgan and Al the Great. And I want you to know, because I have my tea, because this is a tea talk, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and pour my tea, pour my little tea. Here's my little teapot, short and spout, okay? So here is my tea. Everybody got that tea? So this is what we're going to do. Now, tonight, when a word is spoken, and it's either going to be ouch or amen, but no matter what it is, I want you to sip your tea. Because this gonna be some good tea. This ain't gonna be no gossip. This gonna be some good old tea that you can digest and you can use it into your life. Okay. So without further ado, because it's just you guys are piling up on here already. Thank you so much, Rose Hall, saying hi to everybody. But tonight I have these amazing guests that I want you to listen to. I'm gonna go to Al the Great first. I want to go to Al the Great first because I want you to tell them who you are and what you're doing. Al the Great, I'm turning it over to you.
First of all, thank you for having me. You know, I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to, to be able to speak life and to the community and just do what I can because I think all of us need it, include me. So I am lead designer of Good Steward Apparel and Good Steward Apparel brands and the CEO. And our mission with all three of our brands, we have three brands, all catered to one mission of changing the culture. And when we say culture, we mean the current situation that we're going through now, where, even before this, we focus so much on us and not so much on community. But we all know that when we focus on community, we feel good about ourselves. You can have all the money in the world and still be lost and feel incomplete unless you start doing things for other people. And that is what our brand is all about. It's about the tribe over self. So thank you for having me.
Tribe over self. Hold on. Can somebody say tribe over self? Can somebody just hashtag that already? I didn't start off. Can somebody just say hashtag tribe over self? My God. When you think of other people more than yourself. That's the word of God. That's the word. All right. All right. So I'm gonna come up here to Pastor Al Morgan to introduce himself and to tell what he's doing. Pastor Al Morgan, it's on you.
Laticia, like Al said, it's just such an honor to be here with you. We love and honor everything that you've been doing in the community, and just thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of it. My name is Pastor Al Morgan. I pastor along with my wife, Yolanda Morgan, what I think is the greatest church in the area, Launch Ministries. And it's a different culture. It's a place where we believe in loving, leading, and launching others for God's purpose. Outside of pastoring, my wife and I are also entrepreneurs. So we operate a 120-bed assisted living facility in Chapel Hill, where we're able to employ people and make a difference in the community and provide great services for our elderly. We also have a marketing and management company to help other people with bringing their business ideas into fruition. We're actually launching something that's coming out real soon called our brand is I Quit, taking people from career to calling. And we're really focusing on kingdom-minded people in the marketplace. So we're really excited, and to share with everybody, we want to show some things about how, even though we're in the midst of a pandemic, it's a great time to strike and make an impression for the culture, for the community. So it's an honor to be here on tonight.
Woo! Okay, it was a couple of things. I quit. Taking people from career to culture. From career to culture. Can somebody just say hashtag I quit? Hashtag I quit. That was good. That was really good, because I believe that's what we're getting ready to do tonight. We're going to take people from career to culture. We're going to bring back our culture tonight. We're going to talk about where we are tonight as a culture. So again, thank everyone for being here. I see Pastor Rose Thomas is with us. I see Miss Felicia Goodman is with us. I see Pastor Keisha Joan Tompkins is with us. Thank you so much, all of you guys that are here. I see they've already from career to calling. Thank you so much. We have the tribe over self. They're already, look, Angela said, I quit. Angel Love Atkins said, I quit. Time to go from career to calling. I told
Absolutely.
that career to calling.
Yeah, love it.
To a career to calling. And so with that calling tonight, you're going to learn how you can use that calling to help the culture. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's dive on into it, you guys. Let's dive on into it. I've been ready to ask you these questions, and I wanted our people to make sure you guys join in that's watching. I hope you got your tea, because like I said, it's either ouch or amen, and no matter what it is, just sip your tea, digest it, honey. You got another day to get it right. You'll be all right. Okay. So the first thing I want to say is George Floyd. George Floyd. Now, even we know that's not the only name. I can say Breonna. I can say Trayvon Martin. I can say Sandra Bland. I can say who was that? Breonna Taylor. When I say those names, how does that make you feel, Pastor Al? When I say those names?
Well, when you say those names, I actually wore how I feel. So when I hear that, I hear get your knee off our neck. It's not new for those of us who were born Black, but for 401 years, we've been oppressed. For 400 years, we've been overlooked. For 401 years, we've been denied access, all these things. And it's come to a head where now, through social media, other people are now having a glimpse in real time on what we've had to deal with for over 401 years. So I think of get your knee off our neck, and I'm very, very, very angry. And I'm really tired of people that are telling me that I shouldn't be angry. I'm tired of people, and I'm a pastor, that are telling me that the first thing that I need to do is just pray. And we're always praying for people that have been killing us and abusing us and things like that. And I think it's a time to stand up, because it's not like we haven't prayed. It's not like we haven't spent time with God. It's not like we're not believing God. And now it's the time to, scripture, the Bible, where David and the camp come back, and they had taken all the women and children, and David got the ephod, and he sought of the Lord, and the Lord, he said, shall I pursue? Mm-hmm. And this is a time to pursue and to overtake. We're going to overtake our freedom. We're going to overtake our liberty. We're going to overtake our dignity, because we were the people that people were coming to learn. We educated the world. We were kings and queens, and we still are, and we're going to take our rightful place. And this thing, when this is over, it's going to be better for everybody. So when I hear that, I hear get your knee off the neck that it's time for change.
Wow, wow, wow. I have the same question for you, Elder Great, because this is what do you feel? What do you feel when you hear, you know, all of these names that I just mentioned?
I mean, initially it just makes you feel angry because you probably could go on for a month, you know, listing names. Like it's so many, and there's so many that people don't even know. You know, the list of names is just endless. These are just the ones that we know that, you know, we can kind of be able to list. And I get angry, but I feel hopeful because I think we have a unhistorical amount of support. Like from my studies of history, I have never seen this level of support to stop racism. And some people may say that, you know, some of these things that people are doing, you know, putting Black Lives Matter on the street, or, you know, changing the name of Uncle Ben or Aunt Your Mama, you know, some people may say those are just like minimal things. But I think we need to do it like wholeheartedly. You know, symbols, policies, terms, like everything. And I think that is when we can really make a difference. I tell people we need to follow the model of the Jewish people. They took the language out of the lexicon. They made sure that nobody else used it. They made sure nobody used the symbolism or anything. And we need to do the same. And I think we're on a great path to do that. And that makes me feel hopeful. Just the amount of support. And it just makes me want to, you know, keep fighting. And I'm seeing so many people come out to fight. I'm seeing, you know, online. I have seen in 24 hours, I've seen someone post something that was despicable about George Floyd. Post something that was despicable. His business was shut down in 24 hours. The post was shared over, you know, like 200 times. One person was just like 50. And within 24 hours, they shut his business down. Reviews, everything. He had to shut down everything. His social media, they went to Yelp. Like, and I know some people may seem like that is, you know, that I call them keyboard activists. You know, that is that work that is like, you know, off the couch. But it has been, I have seen it be very effective. Yeah. And I think that's what we need. We have people fighting on all sides of this thing. And I think that is where we can really make a difference. So I definitely feel hopeful, and it energizes me, even though we're still seeing these things happen. We just saw, you know, what is it, this week or last week, where the gentleman got shot in the back. Like, it's still going on, but, you know, but at the end of that, the person got charged right away. It wasn't a week later, you know, 2 weeks later, he didn't have time to go home and hang out with his family. You know, he got charged right away. And he got charged. I want to say it was a murder charge. It wasn't, you know, something. They deemed it as a homicide. Right. So all of that makes me feel hopeful. All of that is a change from where we were before, because people had time to go on vacation before. They would go on vacation and then get charged probably like a month later if they even got that. So
absolutely. So I want to, what's something that you said, and Tia Powell said the keyboard warriors are changing the game too. So right now, right here, right now, I need all of you that are watching, that are listening, to write keyboard activists. Keyboard activists. Listen, now is the time. Now is the time that in your gifting, even if it's on the couch. Come on. Didn't he say on the couch?
Yes.
And sharing. Keyboard activists. Now, my second question to you guys, and I want you to hold your seats, hold your hat and everything, get your cup, because it's going to be good. I need y'all to understand this, okay?
I'm ready.
I heard a word come out of both of you guys' mouth, and the word was angry. Okay? Now, I know we got the pastor on. And then I know, but I know he also keeps it real. But how do we tell our people they can be angry but sin not? Now, what I mean by that, you can be angry, but grandpa that spent his whole life building his business, don't go tear up his truck. because you mad.
Yeah.
Or you can be angry, but don't go right up into the policeman's face and point at him all in the face and kick him and spit on him and don't think that he ain't gonna try to kill you.
Yeah.
I want to talk to them because y'all not the only two that's angry. Okay. We got more people watching us that's angry, but how can you be angry but sin not? Now, a lot of people don't even think it's a sin. They say, burn that piece down, burn it down. We built it, burn it, right?
Yeah.
Talk to them. Can we talk to them? Come on, Pastor. Come on, talk to them. Come on.
I don't know what to say because I might smell like a little smoke. So I don't know. But all jokes aside, it's easier said than done because you're talking about contents that have been under pressure. So it's almost like telling someone that it's okay if the bomb goes off, but I want to control where the shrapnel goes. Mm. So if you've robbed and looted our dignity and our respect and our honor for 401 years, and you happen to lose a Target or Wendy's, I'm sorry, but at the same time, there's not much that people have that have been oppressed. The one thing that has been proven during COVID, during the 400 years of oppression, is America's God is definitely money. To the point to where a person and people will protest to go back to work in the midst of a pandemic, but will not march and protest for equal rights for other people. That people will go down and grab their assault rifles and walk in downtown Raleigh and storm City Hall because they have a right to go to work. They have a right to infect everyone else, and you're not going to deny them of their rights. But a man who has someone's knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds doesn't have a right. That I keep seeing these commercials go across the screen where we're donating money to the SPCA and that animals have more rights than black men and black lives. So I apologize that sometimes there's some collateral damage, but that's how you founded this country because you said you founded it, but you stole it. So there's a lot, so people want you to abide by the rules that they made that they don't abide by.
Come on.
So everything else, it's like the person that stole everything that's upset because you took back something they stole from you. And then they want to blow the whistle, then they want to say these things. So it's not as easy as that. And I'm not condoning, because I don't believe that, first of all, that you should go in and burn down the stores in your own community. I don't think we should do that. But I also think that we should not buy into the narrative that the media has given us to where now we start picking ourselves apart. So we start looking at, so now it's infighting. It's like, well, you know what? Well, you shouldn't be doing that. Well, it's a lot of anger built up, and maybe that wouldn't happen if we didn't have military vehicles in the streets. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad if our police force, they look like the military now. You stand around with AK assault rifles and M16s and stuff like that to police the people that you're supposed to protect. So even though I'm not an advocate for, going out and burning things, I do believe that anger and that word that you used in this scenario, sin is relative. So because people can say the fact that you're standing up for your rights is a sin. There are people that really believe that slavery is their God-given right. Mm-hmm. So we have people that are arguing, making their arguments out of the same Bible. So we have to be careful because that same Bible has been used to oppress people for years.
Good.
So we have to put a voice to our anger. So we go out and we use this as teaching moments for our other black men and our black women and our children to show them not only what it's like, but how things have gotten better and how they need to continue to not only carry themselves, but to carry the legacy that we've always had. And I think education, communication, education, and this is a great opportunity for Black-owned businesses. But what we have to do is take this opportunity to hone our skills so that you still have to operate like a legitimate business so that people can patronize us. So all these things we have to do: educate ourselves, support each other, and keep that money cycling in the system. So I need to know what Al sells. So if I'm going to the mall, why am I not going to his site and buying from him? And then why is he not going to Laticia's site and buying for her? And that money stay, and we build wealth in our communities. And I think that's one way to do that, is to throw your energy into something productive.
That's good. That's good, sir. So everything that you said, I need everybody to pick up their cup. If you watch it, go on and pick up your cup, because you need a tea break, because it's something he said that it resonated in your heart. And I think we all just need to just go on and sip some tea, because that was good. That was good. That was some good tea right there. I can take that tea to the bank. I can multiply that tea. That was really good. It was something that you said, that educate. Here we go. Educate, support, build wealth in our own communities. That was huge. That was huge. Tawny Lane said, he's speaking my language. Come on. Deanne Jackson said, the legacy we've always had, which brings me, and I'm going to come down to you, Al. I'm going to say this, because why are we begging for something that's already ours?
Yeah. We already have the power. We just haven't recognized that we have the power. And I really struggle. Like, I don't think it's effective for anyone to loot or to damage property. But I really kind of struggle with it, because this is in America's history. Back in the Boston Tea Party, like America has always destroyed property to express their outrage. Is only a thing when Black people do it, but when they think Black people do it, because they have caught several plants in these protests who are destroying property, have them on video, people who are destroying property to discredit the movement. I have seen so many, even on social media, so many type of ways that people try to come in and discredit the movement to stop the momentum. And I think that's just another way. And banks and congressmen and everybody else have been looting the community for forever, through the mortgage crisis, all these other things, but it's legal for them. They call it, it's a legal way of looting the community and looting your account. But I think there is a effective way to express power, and we have to express power, because power does not relinquish without some type of force. It doesn't have to be violence. You don't have to get your goods, but we do have to use some type of force in order to get what we deserve. And I think that's going to come with community. That's going to come with us supporting Black businesses and supporting Black people. In the civil rights movement, there was a cycle of support. The people supported the Black businesses funded the movement. And that's even like some famous people, some actors, actresses, people that we didn't even know. It came out later. And I think that's the kind of mindset that we need to have. It needs to be that constant cycle where they support us, the Black businesses, and we do what we can to support them. And I think that's where we're going to win. And also use our allies. I mean, don't exclude our allies. Please don't exclude our allies, our newfound allies. Please don't get upset with them. I know you it took you. What happened with you the 4 murders ago? Like, why was this any different? But we have to be patient, because we don't have the numbers. To be honest, we don't have the numbers. In anything that we fought for our justice, anything like that, it has always been a coalition of Black, white, and everybody. It's always been a core, Blackness to its core, but around it it has been other organizations, other groups of people, and we need to make sure that we model that same thing, because we can use history and not let history repeat itself, and also use history to make a change.
Absolutely. So I'm going to read some of these comments because, again, that was some amazing tea that you just put out there. So return back to the village mentality. Return back to the village mentality. That's what Miss Deanne Jackson received. And we have the power. We have the power. So when you were speaking, Al the Great, let me tell you, when you were speaking, now I'm over here and, you know, sometimes I hear songs, right? So I'm sitting over here and you're talking and I'm hearing money, power, and respect is what you need in life, is the key to life, right? I'm over here and that's what's going on in my head. Money, power, and respect, right? Money, power, and respect. And so as I'm saying that to myself and I hear it in my ear, what you need in life is the key to life. When you were talking about the village, money, power, and respect. How are we going to get our people to respect one another, that we trust each other to build with one another? That's a question. Money, power, and respect. Okay, right now, how can we get our people to build together, to respect one another, so we can have that type of unity and we can grow our community? Pastor Al, can you speak to that?
I'm gonna let Al the Great go first because that kind of piggybacks on what he was talking about. So he was going real good, and then I'll chime in.
Absolutely.
I think we need to address it directly. Like we need to address it within our community. You can't address it when companies around. You know, with our allies, this is not a conversation for our allies. This is a conversation that, you know, we need to have in-house. Like Mama said, don't you go telling our business. We need to address this in-house. Keep it in-house, and, you know, address all the issues, colorism, how we discriminate against ourselves, like, because it's been in our culture for the longest, and people are still like, we have momentum right now, and I still see people come in with the colorism. I have had people, you know, tell me that I wasn't. It was said in different words, but essentially were telling me that I wasn't black enough. You left the hood. You know, you went to the Marine Corps, you know, you left, so you don't care about black people. Like, what? So we have to address it. We have to address it head on. And I think we have to address it wholeheartedly. I know we want to listen to our music with our language. Like I still am for, we can't allow that anymore. We are in a different place. We need to be speaking positively about ourselves. We can't allow anyone else to speak negatively about us, whether it's from our community or whether it's from somewhere else. And I know we want the music and we want the art because it reflects the culture, but our culture has changed. So let's reflect something else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pastor Al?
I mean, just to piggyback on what he was saying, so it goes back to education and empowerment. One of the downsides or the side effects of buying into the American dream is all of the other things that come along with the American dream, which is the classism. See, people forget, I was talking about the history earlier, so it's amazing how our white brothers and sisters who stole America forgot quickly that they left England because they were oppressed.
Yes.
Because they didn't really have certain freedom. They were the slaves over there. And instead of making a better place, they took what they learned and became better at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that word systematic racism comes in. You imagine that you teach a people for 401 years that they are better than everyone else, and it becomes systematically, it's their default mechanism. So they don't even think about it. So a lot of our friends, they really don't mean any harm, but they really don't think about it because at their core, this was taught. So because we were assimilated into that type of society, we left what we were taught and came from. We were people of community, of culture, not this type of thing, but because we were assimilated, we began to look like and do things like our white counterparts. So now we were taught that that was what success looked like. We were taught that you should look down on somebody. We were taught that you are better than this person. So the best way to deal with racism is to displace it on someone else. Because at the time, what can you do when you're oppressed? So hurt people hurt people. So then you've got dark-skinned people telling light-skinned people that they're not black enough, and you have light-skinned people telling dark people that you got all this. You feel that you got all this stuff going on, and that's that conversation, like I was saying, that you can't have that in front of company,
right?
Because that will confuse company.
Absolutely.
But education, empowerment about what wealth really is. That wealth isn't money. Wealth is freedom. And you can't buy the freedom because you can't put a price tag on it. So we just have to re-educate ourselves and get back to the basics of community and how money actually works and operates. That when you start becoming successful, the things that you were dealing with are no longer a problem. And now, because our white brothers and sisters understand that money locks you out of a lot of things if you don't have it. So it's amazing, Laticia, that you could go and you could buy $100,000 Cadillac Escalade and get approved today, but the bank won't approve you for a $70,000 house.
Right.
Now, how is that? Because they understand that if you ever understand the power of wealth and start owning land and become your own bank, that you no longer have to depend on the system that they want you to be dependent on. Then I get into the system. Then we start talking about, how the black family has been fractured because, it rewards not being married. It enforces the more kids you have out of wedlock, the more money they give you, and it doesn't give you a head start in life. It actually puts you behind. So we got to change our thinking and all of that. So I definitely agree with that.
Ooh, so as you were speaking, I'm over here. You just made me go all the way back to 1921. I just went back to Tulsa. I just went back to Oklahoma. I just went back to Greenwood. I did. And how it was destroyed because just this very thing we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's something that you said, not only was it destroyed, they went in and killed over 300 people. I had a conversation
and dropped a bomb on American soil.
And dropped a bomb on American soil on 35 blocks.
And it was legal. And they want to talk about us burning a Target down or somebody's pawn shop. Are you serious? This is what I was talking about earlier. Are you serious? So you really want to have this conversation that like that didn't happen?
I'm gonna just drink this.
And it's kind of not strange. So Trump doesn't know. So he's going back to Oklahoma, and it's right around June. So this isn't planned. And
he was going to do it on the anniversary, the 99th anniversary of the massacre. Like somebody like that wasn't a coincidence. That wasn't a coincidence. On Juneteenth, all that wasn't a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence. It's not. But so right here is where we take control. Everything that we just spoke of, again, makes our people angry. Now, I know when I was a child, well, it wasn't too long ago, so I must have been a child not too long ago, that when I got angry, I wanted to put my hands on something. I want to touch somebody. I want to reach out and touch somebody's head. Right. I wanted to touch somebody. So we got a lot of our people that's out there angry that want to touch somebody. Okay. So everything that we just spoke about with Greenwood, with Tulsa and the things that's happening that our president is doing, what do we say to that man? And this is why we're here. This speak like what do we say to that man that is so angry that maybe, don't have the mentality that I'm gonna vote. Come on. Don't have the mentality that I'm gonna sign a petition. What do you tell that man that want to reach out and touch somebody?
in no other part of life does anyone say the answer is to just not do anything. Like no other part of life. If your kids aren't doing well, you don't say, well, just don't study for that test. You'll be all right. Or, you know, if you want to raise on your job, you just say, well, I'm just not going to go to work. Like, and no part of life is just amazing that people think that this is the solution, because we do that nowhere else in life. Everything is an action. And one of the things that you talked about earlier, Pastor Al, is in the beginning that people use religion. Well, I'm just gonna pray. I'm just gonna pray. I don't need it's all in God's hands. I was like, the Bible is full of action. It is full of prayer and action. No part of God says sit on that couch, not do anything. He say pray and watch. And watch didn't even mean like let me just see what's going on. Like, but we use that as an excuse. You know, speaking of Tulsa, like we have to learn from our history. They had all the wealth. They had movie theaters in that time. They had planes. They had grocery stores, banks, all of these things for that time. To have a plane, and it was all burnt down because they didn't have the political power. And that's what we have to ensure, that we have both. We have to ensure that we have the political power, and we have to ensure that we have the wealth. And we can do both. We can't just make it one or the other. And when we vote, like when we voted Barack in, we say, oh, you got it, Barack. You got it. You know, we got him in, we celebrated, but we didn't ask him for anything. We didn't help him get a Congress that he could use. You know, we just sat back, oh, I voted for Barack. And we have to, it has to be a continuous process of action, of activism, of action. We have to use force on every level. And I think that is what we have to remember, and we have to continue to do it. We can't get tired, because this is something that it needs to be better for our kids, because it was getting worse. Like, it was getting worse for our kids. The KKK was recruiting, you know, openly, sending out pamphlets and flyers, you know. So we need to make sure it doesn't get worse.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pastor Al?
I mean, so what do you say to, because you just happen to be talking to two of them on tonight. So angry, frustrated, and really not even thinking about whether we're going to sin or not. Because for so long, being silent has not been as effective as keeping the movement and what's going on in people's faces. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about, you know, pointing in officers' face. What I'm just saying is, even when I'm around my white friends, the things that each of us as African Americans have always been around people, and they say something slick and you let it slide. You can't do that anymore. Say, hey, man, you can't say that. That's not cool. Yeah. Whether you're offended or not, you can't do that. It's an outset that we talked about action and reaction. So it's amazing that when we react, it's aggression. But dude, I just can't breathe. So I'm trying to just get you off me. You attacked me. See, we keep forgetting that. You attacked me. So that's when he's resisting arrest. No, he's not. He's trying to breathe. He's trying to get out. He's telling you can't. He's trying to get off the ground, but you're determined, because the color of a person's skin offends you. To the point, I've been looking at these videos. Two police officers pull over this white guy. He takes the billy club from one of the sheriffs, beats him and the lady cop with it, gets in their sheriff's car and drives off. Not one shot is fired.
I've seen that.
But you're going to tell me that all of a sudden there's a pandemic now with black youth hanging themselves from trees, and the first statement is it's all suicide? Our Hispanic brothers found in Texas hanging from a tree and it's suicide, and you want you to behave. I'm being hunted, and I'm not going to let you grab me. And if I'm in the street, I'm not letting you grab Al, and I'm not doing that. because you've proven if I let you, you will kill me. I shared with my church that a lot of times my wife and I don't ride together. And I shared something that was emotional for me that my wife never knew. And Al, you'll probably understand what I'm saying. Because I don't ride with my wife because the chances are higher of me being pulled over, and I'd rather her not be in the car because I'd rather her live even if they kill me. My white brothers and sisters ain't got to worry about that. They don't have to worry about making sure that you got your hands on 10 and 2 and make sure that you don't have the tint too much and you can't buy the wheels that you really like for your car because you might look like a drug dealer, whatever that looks like. But all these things we have to consider. But yet, when I respond, I'm aggressive. When I'm just reacting to you hunting me. And we are no longer going to lay down in the street. We're no longer going to let people just pull out guns and shoot us live on television. So now the revolution will be televised. And it will be televised on cell phone. We're not relying on CNN. We're not relying on Fox News. David are out in the community, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, old, young, that are sick of what they're seeing. And that's what's going to happen. So if it's going to offend you, you're going to have to be offended because you've been sinning for 401 years. So forgive me if I have a moment where I want you to get off my neck.
My goodness. You've said a whole mouthful there. And you said the word David because this is a culture of Davids, right? This is a culture. And we were talking about that earlier, actually. They're not going to be going around singing, "We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday." They're not going to have the picket signs saying, "Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday." What they're doing is saying, "Give me 5 of those. Give me 5 of those little rocks there. Give me 5 rocks and give me a sling. And this is how we're going to fight now. Because what you had didn't work. And it's not going to work for me. The fight is different. The fight is different."
Definitely.
So I want you, and I know it's 9:45 now. We have 15 more minutes, but I want you to tell our men, our boys, our women, our girls, what is, and we can't tell them how to feel, but how can they fight right? How can we have wealth and political gain? Can we talk about that? Al the Great, you want to start?
Go ahead.
It's a matter of strategy. You know, we have to have strategy, and we've always been a smart community. Like we all have always been full of intellect with inventors and creators and everything, and we have always been the guiding culture and the morality of this country and the world. Like that's always our place. So we have to know what our place is, know what our power is. We spend like 1.7 trillion, more than the GDP of Russia. We need to use that power and make sure that we're using it in the right way. We need to support Black businesses like we talked about before. Mm-hmm. And we need to make sure that we are getting out there voting, that we understand what the issues are, that we're not easily swayed because, gay rights or because a bathroom bill or whatever else they throw out there to make you get disenfranchised or just say, forget it. You know, if you lose an election, your candidate don't get in there, you don't stop fighting because you are fighting for your children. You are fighting for your future. You're fighting for everything. Like we have to be able to strategize and think ahead. Like we are responsive people. You know, that is where we have gotten in a lot of trouble. We make something popular, we build a culture, and then somebody makes money off of it, and then we want to come and try to make money off of it. After we were the ones that built it. Like we the ones that made it. So we have to be more responsive. You know, if I make something, how can I make money for my community? How can we come together? We have to, and it also we have to do that whole healing process that we talked about before, because we're not going to be able to come together and be strategic if we're not fighting as a unit. And when I say fighting as a unit, that doesn't mean one mind. And I think they use that very often to discredit us and get us, unfocused. Well, Black people, and we say this, we the only ones that don't support each other. We the only ones that ain't on the same page. No community is on the exact same page. It's a lie that's used to distract us. We are not a monolithic, group of people. Black does not mean one thing. We shouldn't discredit somebody else's experience. We need everybody in. We need everybody to come into the house. Let's go ahead and sit down and have this conversation. Let's change up our language. Let's call brother and sister. Let's do all of that. Let's express love for each other, and let's sit down and let's really talk about this. But the only way it's going to be done is going to have to be done with business. It's going to have to be done with our expressing our political will. And the way we do that is making sure that we're voting in every election, definitely the local ones, making sure that we follow the issues. These bills that are coming out, these things that people are doing, we need to make sure we follow them. And you might not be able to follow every one of them, but there's somebody else that might be. Somebody's following. Follow that person that's following the bill. It may be some political stuff is way over my head, but somebody else can handle it. So empower that person. Make sure that you're supporting that person. Get that information and see how you can use it. Instead of us just kind of sitting back and just worry about ourselves. It has to be about community. It has to be about whole community, and we have to be the ones to express everything in love.
Absolutely.
If you have a disagreement, it has to be in love.
You talking? You didn't start talking now. Talking about some love. Come on now. We okay.
Yeah, it gotta be love.
You got to talk about some love, and in order to really help some people without intentions, without your own, I guess your own agenda, you got to love them. You just got to.
We're in that cancel culture. I like if I have a disagreement, you say something, you cancel. Like we gotta let that go.
Cancel culture. Pastor Al, what you got to say today?
Well, I mean, I once again, I agree with Al. It's about education. And I want to say something because, so for people that will see this later, especially for people who are a part of the movement that don't look like us. So when you hear us talk about spending money with Black business in the Black community, it doesn't mean that we don't believe in supporting all business. But what we do have to do is be mindful that we're still supporting businesses that support our communities. And as a whole, a lot of the major white corporations do not return their dollars to our communities. So that's something that we have to look at as far as economic development. And so it's not about isolation from another race or culture. It's just that we need to get on board with what everyone else is doing and be effective in it and explain it in a way. The second thing we have to do is realize that as we're talking about community and love, that our communities are full of people that don't look like us. So I do want to challenge everybody that before we get off, that you be open, because as Al was saying earlier, we're in a day and time now where you're walking by and you're seeing more white faces in the rallies than you do ours. And that you're seeing our Asian brothers and you're seeing people across the globe that are protesting, that are sick of what they're seeing. And we still have to be strong enough to receive them and realize that not everybody's against us. That's right. That we do need help to push the movement, because like Dr. King did, so this movement is not just about racism. It's also about classism. It's also about equal pay for women. It's also about all of this. If we can eradicate this racism thing, life is going to be better for everyone globally, not just Black people, but everyone. So I want to make sure that we stress that when we say community, we're not just talking about our community. We're talking about those people that we associate with on a daily basis, even the ones that don't look like us. because you're still our brothers and sisters. And we really appreciate those of you that are sacrificing, because you have to give up some things to do what you're doing, especially bucking the status quo. So there's some folks that can't go to the country club no more. There's some people that, families have disowned them because how dare you go out and say that Black Lives Matter? And,
Wow.
the movement that we're doing takes on a different shape when people present an argument that don't look like us. So we have to be careful. They expect me or Al to stand up and say, I'm tired of you killing us. But when a white man stands up or a white woman stands up and says, this is wrong, it speaks louder. And we have to be open to that, to where we don't buy into racism, to where now we judge everybody in the same brush. And I want to make sure that we don't do that, and that we stay grounded enough that we can separate the two. And that's one thing that I'm so excited and proud of, because as I've watched the rallies and I've seen the videos, and I've seen the video where the white officer gets away from all the other police officers, and the black young men surround him to make sure that people don't do anything to him. And the look on his face is like, I can't believe that. And that's the moment. The moment where the white supremacist is about to be trampled by people, and the black guys go around him and they scoop him up and carry him to safety, even though he was protesting against them. And the young man looks at the camera and says, but this is the kind of love we're talking about. So why is it that one of the officers didn't still make sure that George Floyd didn't go through what he went? Those are the moments that we're looking for. And that's how we're going to affect change. And that's what we need to be focused on. And I challenge each and every person that when you have an opportunity to not be what they think we are. See, people will always try to provoke you so that you line it with the stereotype that they've taught their ancestors that we are. So they always want us to be loud. They want to get us to act so they can say, see, I told you. But when you can articulate it, when you can go into the bank and you've got the financial statement, so now I want to know why you didn't give me the loan, because my credit score is here. I've got the money. I know what the laws are. I know what the rules are, and I want you to explain it to me. Now we're really fighting it on a different level now. So they're not hanging you from trees now. They're just giving you high interest rates.
Woo! And that's a whole nother conversation in itself. But that was very good.
But it's education.
It's education. I had to sip my tea because we're
Laticia, I'll say this.
Go ahead.
There's one thing that I believe God knew what he was doing. It's amazing that oppression is what sparks your creativity. Everything that was created out of the lack of having. So when you don't have things, you got to figure out in mind. So when you only have $20, you figure out a way to get enough gas and to get food and to do all these things, and it sparks creativity. The other thing that oppression does is it sparks compassion, because you know what it's like to be oppressed. And one of the things that I found myself doing this before, and I don't want to speak for Al, but sometimes you get mad at yourself because you can't help but sympathize with people, even though they've done wrong to you. Because you can't figure it out, because there's something that happens through the oppression, because the oppression was created to give us an opportunity to thrive. It's what you talked about with David and Goliath, that this racism, that this discrimination is going on now, is the opportunity to take over the White House, to take over the government, that the streets are filled with future senators and governors, that people that have had enough, and they've already made up in their mind that when they get old enough. See, when we put limits on these terms for these senators and governors and congressmen, then we can get change going on. It's not just the president. It's the good old boy system where they're going to make sure that they all make enough money. They're going to make sure that their health care is fine, but then tell you that you don't have the right to leave free health care. But they have the right for us to pay for their health care. So when we do all those things, it's going to make a big difference for everybody.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys this whole hour has been amazing. It's been so many nuggets. I'm putting one of your nuggets up there. Word, they aren't hanging us from trees, just giving us high interest rates. You know, I everyone that's listening, and go back and listen to the replay. Everything that has been said has been relevant. Okay, I need you to take notes. But before we leave tonight, I want everybody under the sound of my voice to type this to yourself. You are unlimited. You are unlimited. Stop putting ceilings over yourself. Stop putting yourself in a box. Stop telling yourself no. You are unlimited. So if you can go ahead and write that, type that, whatever you want to do, I want you to speak life back into yourself as we speak life into these young men, old men, women, and girls. That you are unlimited. Laticia Powell said, I am unlimited. I am unlimited. Thank you. You are unlimited. Okay, so no more limits. No more limits. Just because you're not out there marching, just because you're not out in a policeman's face, just because you're not burning down buildings, just because you're not cussing and angry and doing certain things, that doesn't mean that you don't have the power. You have the power to vote. You have the power to help another Black business. Tonight, I purposely wore Black businesses jewelry and a Black business pen and drinking a Black business tea. And I am also a Black business where I'm wearing my own eyelashes and wearing a Black business lipstick. Support one another. Support one another. Let me tell you, Al bought one of my children's books for his little girl and had me read them out there to the children. And then in return, he got some outfits, and I bought my whole family the outfits. And my oldest son said, Mama, that outfit is drippy. I didn't understand what he said. He said he's gonna be dripping. So, so he said he's gonna be dripping. And we're going to be out there with those outfits on together, united. So what I'm saying to you is, before we leave here, find a Black business to support. Find a business to sow into. So we can grow our community and we become stronger. Have these private meetings in your neighborhood. Y'all talked about it. Have these private meetings. You know, some of these things, like you say, everybody ain't supposed to know when your house is dirty. You ain't supposed to know, though. You got to bring the family in and we got to talk about it. And then we can go out. Right? So do that. So I'm gonna me and Pastor Al gonna go back into the green room, and I'm about to leave Al the Great out here with you guys, and he's gonna give you some last words and how to contact him and his email and give him all your handles. And so me and Pastor Al about to go into the green room, and we'll see you in a minute.
All right. So again, thank you guys for the opportunity to speak with you. Thank you, Laticia, for having me. So my name is Al the Great. I am the lead designer of Good Steward Apparel and Good Steward Apparel Brands and the CEO. And you can follow me at, we have 3 brands, Good Steward Apparel, Be Athletics Unlimited, and No Robot Streetwear. So you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. You can support our business at goodstewardapparel.com. And we really understand the importance, like we talked about before, of having that cycle. You like having people support our business, and we support the movement and the community. We're giving out free masks. We're doing a lot of other things to ensure that we keep people safe. And one of the things Laticia was talking about, the United Front. We formed an organization with 5 other clothing brands to use one image, unify around one image to encourage organization, collaboration, and activism in our community. This is unheard of for me to have all these clothing brands, and we're still getting more, have all these clothing brands come together and share one image, and we catered it to our brand. So you guys are going to see it more and more. Please follow us, please support us, and we're definitely supporting the mission because it affects all of us. I have 4 kids. I need this future to be better for them And I think you may need it to be better too. So thank you guys for having me.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And we definitely appreciate you and your movement, and we support you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we're going to have Pastor Al come and give us his lasting words and how to contact him and the things that he's doing also in the community.
Laticia, I just want to again thank you for the opportunity to be with you on your platform. Thank you for being so gracious and kind. You can follow us at Launch Ministries. That's www.launchall.org. Our ministry is unique. We're always out in the community, making sure that we're getting food out to those who need it, making sure that we're getting disinfectant and sanitizer and masks and things like that. So make sure that you stay connected with us. As far as all of our social media, you can find us at Launch Ministries on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. And, our biggest thing is making sure that you're successful. So financial development, empowerment, business planning, all those things are things that we offer in the ministry. We believe in kingdom principles. And more than that, we really believe in you. We want you to know that there's a place in Raleigh that a group of people who you've never met, they're really touching and agreeing and believing that the sky is the limit for you. And we're not being cliches. We want to encourage you to go out and continue making a difference. My wife says something that's so powerful. She always says that all you need to do is affect change in one person. So I encourage and challenge each person that's watching this live right now, and that may watch it later on in the week, that you go out and be determined to change the life of one person, one young Black person, one young female that has a desire to be a doctor, our future nurses, our future lawyers. Go out and make a difference. Go out and make an investment in the lives of other people. That's what we believe in at Launch Ministries. We thank you for the opportunity. We bless you. And we look forward to fighting with you arm in arm to making sure that one day the word equality really means something. Laticia, Nicole, thank you so much. And back over to you.
You are so welcome. I'm about to do something now that I want all the Black businesses to drop your link into the post. I want you to drop your link. Drop it right now. How can we support one another when we don't know each other? Don't know how to find one another? Right now, those that don't know, that I help women and girls conquer their fears so they can be all that God designed them to be. And I do that through writing, through coaching, through speaking, and just educating, right? So I want you to drop down what you do so we can come back to this stream and we can look at each other and we can support one another. Not just look, but look and buy a book, or look and support and buy a t-shirt or a hat, or look and see what Launch Ministries is doing. You can always support one another. We are out here giving. I am a philanthropist where I feed the elderly. I help clothe the elderly. Help us. Pastor Al, they are helping. Launch Ministries, they are helping. Unfell in Love Christian Church, we're helping. Al the Great, we're out there helping, giving out free masks. All this takes money to help our community. So don't just be a hearer of this word that we're speaking. Be a doer, because faith without works is dead. So do something. Help us so we can continue to help our community. And that takes our community dollars. Okay? So thank you so much, you guys, for being here. My name is Laticia Nicole Beatty, and I thank God for you, Pastor Al, and I thank God for you, Al the Great.
Thank you.
You guys were amazing. So if you would just get you did it right before I can tell you to go get it. If you could just go in and get your
We
tea.
didn't know. I'm
Thank
almost out of tea.
And just go on and sip it.
Thank you so much. Al, it was a pleasure, sir.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we appreciate you. Until next Thursday, speak life to our Black men. You guys have a good night.
Good night.